Okay, let's jump right in. Did you know that after decades watching politics, one Pulitzer Prize winner figured out that America isn't really split by party lines, but, well, by something much deeper? That's what we're exploring today. We're looking at the most game-changing insights from Peggy Noonan's A Certain Idea of America. Selected writings, some really practical wisdom here that might just change how you think.
Absolutely. And you have to remember who Noonan is. Pulitzer winner, Reagan speechwriter, decades at the Wall Street Journal. She's seen things from the inside, which gives her insights, well, real weight.
So her big claim first, forget Republican versus Democrat as the main event. She says that's almost a sideshow. What's the real dividing line she sees?
She calls it the protected versus the unprotected. Basically, it's a split between people who are kind of insulated from the effects of policies, the protected,
Right.
and then those who are directly hit by those same policies, the unprotected.
But hang on, is that just, rich versus poor? How is it different?
That's the key point. It's not just wealth. The protected are often the educated elite, the ones with resources to sort of buffer themselves. Think about, say, rising crime or failing schools.
Okay.
The protected might move or hire security or use private schools. The unprotected, they often don't have those options. They live with the consequences day in, day out.
I see. That reframes it completely. It's not about ideology so much as competence and who bears the burden. Noonan actually says, the protected versus the unprotected, this is the real divide shaping American politics today.
Exactly. And she argues once you see that divide, a lot of the political earthquakes of the last 10 years or so start to make a lot more sense.
So if that's the division, maybe we need to look at what connects us. Which interestingly brings us to Noonan talking about patriotism through her great-aunt Jane, who was an Irish immigrant.
Yeah, this is a really touching part of the book. The idea is that sometimes newcomers, people who chose to come here, actually see the country's core character more clearly than people born here who might, take it for granted.
Like Jane.
Right. She came with basically nothing, but had this incredibly deep love and appreciation for what America represented. That promise.
It implies that maybe a little distance gives you perspective. Noonan writes, sometimes it takes an outsider to see what makes America truly exceptional.
It's a powerful thought. It's like an emotional blueprint for patriotism that isn't just flag waving. And, if you're feeling a bit adrift or disconnected yourself, Noonan shares Jane's simple three-word secret for falling back in love with America. It's quite moving.
Finding those kinds of truths, it takes some real reflection, doesn't it? Analyzing things rationally.
It really does.
Which actually is exactly why we created Mindful Moments. It's our YouTube channel offering AI book analysis, summaries, and critiques, all designed to spark that kind of reflection and rational thought. Okay, let's apply that reflection to leadership character. There's this amazing historical anecdote Noonan uses. President Ulysses S. Grant gets arrested for speeding while he's president.
Right. It sounds unbelievable today. A police officer pulls over this speeding horse-drawn buggy, and bam, it's the President of the United States.
So what did Grant do? Did he flash a badge, call security?
Nope, nothing like that.
Yeah.
He apparently just accepted the ticket, apologized, and later paid the fine. No fuss, no, do you know who I am?
Wow, that's something. It's a real test of character. The lesson seems pretty clear. Real leaders don't demand special treatment. They cheerfully place themselves under the authority of the law.
It's such a stark example. That moment really shows the kind of integrity, the submission to the rule of law, that maybe we should expect more often from leaders today. It starts with following the same rules as everyone else.
Okay, shifting from the past to right now. We're facing, well, a lot. Loneliness, mental health struggles, deep political divides. Yet Noonan suggests this might actually be a moment for hope.
She does, but it's what she calls the optimism paradox. It's not about ignoring the problems, absolutely not. It's about maintaining a realistic optimism.
Realistic how?
By grounding it in history. She looks at past American crises and says, look, we've faced enormous challenges before. It's a way to find hope without resorting to, toxic positivity.
So it's earned hope based on resilience we've shown before. Is there a core message there?
Yeah, she boils it down to this kind of quiet confidence. We can handle it. We are America. And the book outlines, I think it's 3 specific historical patterns that show our current struggles aren't entirely new. And knowing that, she argues, should actually give you courage.
That makes sense. Finally, let's talk about moral leadership. Noonan looks at someone like Billy Graham. What made him so influential across divides wasn't just his message, she says, but a specific character trait.
Right. She analyzes how Graham built this incredible lasting influence that crossed political and religious lines. And the key, she argues, was his authentic integrity. He stayed out of the partisan muck, mostly, and focused on consistent character and, frankly, dignity.
She captures his style so well when she writes about his tenderness that never slips into sentimentality, indignation tempered by love. That's quite a balance.
It really is. And that principle, dignity, integrity, tempering strong feelings with empathy, it's almost a forgotten aspect of leadership now. Applying that could totally change how you evaluate public figures, and maybe even how you handle disagreements in your own life.
So you've heard these core lessons, 5 really potent insights from Noonan's work. But that's just a taste. Start with our 5-minute viral moments, then dive into the in-depth analysis. Next, the summary, ending with the comprehensive critique. Discover genre-based book podcasts at Mindful Moments. Subscribe and nourish your mind on the go.